So I'm really going to talk about the lockdown features in Proctorio. If you have a third-party platform that you use for exams, I will be able to send you a guide on that as well, and on how the gradebook runs. So again, I will stop every so often and ask how you're doing, and if I can answer any questions, and Alan will alert me to any questions that you guys have put in chat. And then also, before you leave the session, please fill out the 1-minute workshop survey, or as I like to tease Pamela Rivers, my job, yes, is dependent on whether or not you guys do fill out the uh, work, the deal. Yeah, it's easy for me to say. Okay, so what is Proctorio? Let me just move that. Proctorio is an app that can be used in Canvas to in order to ensure the legitimacy of tests that are completed away from the instructor. It is a Chrome app. You can only use Proctorio with Chrome, and therefore can only be used by a student using Google Chrome, obviously. It does not operate outside of Canvas. What control does it give me over exams in Canvas? Well, instructors can require students to close additional tabs, lock down their browsers, and in certain situations, take their tests on camera. You cannot require a webcam unless you state this explicitly in your syllabus and on your course schedule. Again, cannot be used outside of Canvas, and it can only be used with Chrome. Your students, if for some reason they are not able or don't have the Chrome extension, they will get an error message on this right here. This is what it looks like when they are supposed to install the Proctorio Chrome extension, but they could end up well, I wanted to show you what it's looked like, and I'll come across it, and it will. And then I will also send you where they go, where your students go to get Proctorio if it's not installed. Like once you set up your quiz, they go to take it and they get this particular error message. Okay, Proctorio does comply with FERPA, and they do not share any type of outside information. Okay. And Proctorio, again, uses a third-party platform. That's this part right here. I'll be able to send you a guide. If you're using a third-party platform, like a test, like for example, Diane, I believe you're using Flat World. So if you have your tests on that and you still want to use Proctorio, I'm going to send you a guide on how to set up a quiz. Okay. All right. So as I said, always use the Chrome web browser when interacting with Proctorio. Okay. Does not work on mobile devices. And others have asked if tablets work. No, you should always have your students use a computer, okay? And again, you cannot require a webcam unless you state this explicitly in your syllabus and on your course schedule. This will make sense when we go over the video lockdown options for your test. Proctorio says because of slow loading times and unwanted loading issues, please show all questions at once. This sort of goes against the grain of what we have said to you about using an LMS and showing all questions at once versus showing one question at a time. So show for Proctorio to not have slow connection speed or unwanted loading issues, please show all questions at once. And you do not want to change your exam name in the middle of students taking it. So don't change it. And that is because the exam settings will become locked after an exam has been started by a test taker to ensure all test takers are protected or proctored under the same criteria. Okay, so don't change the name of your exam. And here we go. All right, so this is what happens if students do not have the Proctorio Chrome extension installed. They will see a red warning graphic in the quiz instructions section that look like this, okay? But it's okay because you'll be able to send them here and they can get Proctorio. And they'll be able to get Proctorio at this location because I'm gonna send it to you. Okay. And we don't need that. Okay. So first off, I am going to show you.
Proctorio aims to make proctoring as simple and convenient for students as possible.
Whoops. Okay, can you guys see this? Can you hear? Is everybody doing fine?
Put yourself in the student's situation. Here I am, having studied for my exam all week. All I'm doing
is could hear and see it.
Take my quiz.
Say again?
Yes, we could see it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's hard to hear.
It's hard to hear? Okay, thank you. Come on. Had to hunt around for it for a minute.
Party software. And here we go. So for the student, you're going to notice right away before they enter the quiz that we put remotely proctored in parentheses right next to the name of the quiz. And that's for full disclosure purposes. We want students to know that this exam is going to be proctored ahead of time. We'll provide them some information about Proctorio if they'd like to learn more, but then we're also going to provide them information about what will be restricted during the exam, as well as what data will be recorded when they're in their exam environment. We'll provide students some more information about our accessibility features as well, which include high contrast text and Proctorio's own built-in screen reader. Once the student's done, they'll click Start Exam Pre-Checks. Now at this point, Proctorio is doing a full diagnostic to make sure that we have all the information we need recorded, including the student's location, their webcam. I'm going to share my desktop, and then we'll make sure that the student has a strong enough connection as well. And at this point, we're going to provide the student the video feed of them that's going through, as well as some light messaging to help them get ready and to be comfortable that their exam is about to begin. Now, this will be the point where we'll ask the student to present their identification card before entering the exam environment. So I'm going to take my ID here and just hold it up to the camera. And my ID picture has been taken. And at this point, we'll be taken to the exam agreement page. The student is going to see the video feed of them. They'll see the photo ID that was taken, their location, as well as a short exam agreement statement. And once they're ready to go, they'll begin their exam. Now, while our exam is loading, you're going to see off to the left here, we have Proctorio's in-quiz tools feature. So this will show the feed of the student as well as a calculator if we had it enabled, or the Proctorio whiteboard as well. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and collapse it so we don't have to look at it during the exam. And I'm going to proceed to taking my exam. And now here we are in the quiz. Now let's say as a student that I want to disseminate this quiz. I want to give it out to a...
And just note that he has just set up a 1-question quiz. And so when I'm saying to you, put all of your questions on your quiz page, he has just set up a 1-question quiz. So that's why there's only 1 question.
other computers in my
Hey, Tracy.
Yeah,
I want to right
okay.
click and print.
Yes.
Sorry, real quick. Are we required to have the students show their ID in that type of video?
No, because you can't.
Okay.
I'm said,
Because I didn't have it in my syllabus, so I was wondering if that wouldn't apply, right? If you haven't specified
no,
video.
right. And so if you have not specified video, those options, you wouldn't use those options.
Okay, very cool.
Okay.
This exam. Let's see what Proctorio does. Remember we had that disable print feature on? Well, Proctorio has gone ahead and blotted out all information from the exam. So if the student tried to print this, all they would end up getting is a blank page. And remember too that we didn't lock down this quiz. We didn't have the forceful screen or any of the other more, let's say, strict Proctorio features that were enabled. So let's say as a student that I want to try and find the answer to this quiz from a third-party source. I'm going to open up a new tab here, and let's go to Google. Let me just search for why is the sky blue? Let's see, I found a few web pages here. Here's a NASA page. That's probably a good one for me to get my answer from. And as a student, I'm logging down, looking at all this information here, and looks like here we go. I found my answer in the middle of the page. So let's navigate back to my quiz. I found my answer. I'm going to click submit. And as a student, I think I'm done, and I've gotten away with accessing a third-party resource. Now you can see here that I got my question correct, but you'll also notice that we provide the proctoring as well on the back end. So when the student is reviewing the results of their quiz, Proctorio is still running, we're still detecting the student's movements, and your exam is still protected. And now at this point, I've done reviewing it, so I'm going to go ahead and click done. And that was the student experience. No previous exams, no scheduling was needed. No other third-party software was needed. All the student did was log in, go through a couple Proctorio pre-checks, and they're done.
Okay. So now, let me. Hold on. Okay, I lost. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Okay, so now let's go to, and let me make sure. I don't think you're seeing my. Are you seeing my grade book by chance? Or my Proctorio grade book? Okay.
Tracy, I have a quick question.
Certainly.
I'm confused. I thought Proctorio was supposed to prevent them from going to Google and stuff like that.
It does. And what we're going to be looking at are lockdown features, and I'm going to be showing that. I just wanted you to see what the quiz looks like from a student perspective.
So the lockdown wasn't enabled on that demo right there?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't see your grade book yet.
Okay. I will be there shortly. Hold on.
What's to stop the student from going into Internet Explorer to do the search and then just continuing to take the quiz in Chrome?
Because you're going to lock down tabs. You're not going to allow them to have a tab open where they can go to a place via a different browser.
Okay.
And I'll show you that right now. Okay. Mike, did you have a question? Are you doing okay?
Yeah,
Chris,
doing
you had
fine.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, Mike.
Okay. So now can you see my Proctorio?
Tracy, I had a question. You locked them down, but if they had a second computer, right? You're
Okay, but it's okay because even if you have a second screen, you can enable so that they have to unplug that second screen. And I'll show you. Okay.
But if they had just a second,
Cell
suppose they
phone.
take their brother's or their sister's laptop and sit it on the other side, they can, if they really wanted to cheat and Google stuff, they could do that. Is that,
Or like a cell phone.
or the cell phone?
Yeah.
Well, then what I would do is I would use video so that you show the room and you always show them what they're doing. Now, what that means is that you're going to have to monitor, let's say you have 30 students. You're going to be monitoring 30 students from a video. Let's get in and look at the options and you can decide. Okay. So the first thing I want to share with you is you'll need to, under navigation, settings, navigation, Proctorio is really called for us Secure Exam Proctor, and it's going to be first in your hidden section. And so you'll have to drag it up to here and then of course save. Okay, so now I am gonna make a quiz and I am gonna make a quiz and I'm gonna just say Proctorio demo. Okay, and I'm going to shuffle my answers. I'm going to make a time limit of, let's say, 15 minutes. And underneath other restrictions options, I am going to enable Proctorio. Don't worry about the password options. Proctorio takes care of all of that. And now I'm going to go save. I'm going to come back to edit. And I'm going to wait for this option to come up. And here it is. See how it finally came up right here? And these are the choices that I have. This is where we get into the options for the Proctorio quiz, okay? And so there is a default option if you find that you're using the same options, you can just save a profile or whatever, so, and you can delete. Okay, so let's look at the camera video options, okay? And if you ever have a question, you can just click on that little deal and the question and it will take you to their support page, okay? So now let me go back here. So here's my recording options. So if I click on record video, if I click on record audio, if I click on record screen, maybe I'm gonna click on all of these, but just know that I think that that could slow some stuff up. And I will also send to you what Kurt Klopstein uses for his options. He is in our math department. What he picks, I will send them to you as well. You can record web traffic, and you can also record the room, scan at start, intelligent start, cord room off. Maybe I don't want that, but maybe I do want scan at start, so I make them do like a 360 of the room, okay? And then, so this is what I've selected here. I'm just going to uncheck just so you see that I can do that. And then here are the lockdown options that I think I really like. So force full screen is literally, the option is only the size of their screen, okay? So it's the lockdown, it's not like they can make, you know, that they can make their screen a medium size. If I choose that option, it's just whatever their size is. Here is only one screen. I'm going to disable new tabs. Okay. And I'm going to also force to have open tabs closed. I'm definitely going to disable printing. And that also does disable clipboard, which means they can't save things to the clipboard and they can't go to the clipboard and bring things out. I can do clear cache. I can disable right click, and preventing re-entry is dicey because what happens if you have an internet problem? I mean, literally you could say, okay, I'll give you 10 minutes to come back in. And if you say that to the entire class, and if somebody doesn't, then they get the boot, okay? So here are verification options. If you're gonna verify video, you know, where you see them and they hold up their, like you look at the room, they hold up their ID, although there is just an ID option that I'll show you as well. Verify video, verify desktop. And verify video is that there isn't somebody that it's not somebody else taking the test for them. Okay, so say you have a student who's from England, but all of a sudden they talk in a Bronx accent, chances are, okay? So verify ID, verify signature, and verify login. You can also, Patrick Serpa, you can also suggest a basic calculator or more robust scientific calculator. You can allow a whiteboard, okay? And then you have some exam settings that will help you. This will verify whether or not that they think that these are good features that you have selected. And then this Proctorio behavior settings, it will just give you a thumbs up again after you've done your settings. And then I just want to show you one thing here. Let me go to where's quizzes. Oh, hi, I'm in quizzes. Hello. Okay, so okay, I had a student assistant take this test last week. Oh, it's the wrong one. Sorry. Let me go back here. see if it's this one. Okay. All right. So Anthony took this proctorio exam. So here's the grade book. Here's his name. Here is his picture. So it kind of, this is what it shows. The attempt ended when the test taker submitted the exam, obviously. I would have had to had 2 other students take the exam to calculate abnormalities. The internet type was residential. The test taker had decent overall performance. Test taker had poor internet performance. And at the same time, although I don't quite understand this, they had good computer performance. Test taker had an abnormal screen resolution, which I'm not sure about. Test taker had reduced video quality for 8% of the exam. The exam was taken using a Mac, and then it gives you this information right here about his internet. Annotations, there aren't any abnormalities, there aren't any. The submission level was good, so there weren't any problems there. It shows where he took the test. Here are display options, and then of course you have export options.
Hey Tracy, can I interrupt for a second?
Of course.
I just wanted to say I had several faculty do a sample test for me when I was training on this, and I got them to do things like try to navigate away or open other tabs or look around or have unusual noise, and it will show you all of that. And every time one of those things happens, there'll be a red mark that says this is something that you should check out, and it will explain those kind of things. So Tracy had Anthony, and he was like a good kid. But
Yeah.
I had faculty who would misbehave, and they tried to close their test, and they would get a warning saying you've got 5 seconds, and if you don't go back to the test, your test is going to end. And all of that will show up on these analytics that you get at the end. So just wanted to make sure you knew that.
And so Pam, did you select those options, like close the tabs you can't, or did they just, how did you set up your quiz?
So when you go to that thing that you did, the behavior with the thumbs up, you can click on that and tell Proctorio what behaviors are concerning to you. Like I said, it would be really concerning to me if someone tried to open another tab, or it would be really concerning to me if they tried to close their test. And then Proctorio will say, oh, that's a red flag. This instructor said that's a big deal. And then those things show up as red, like, oh, this is something you said was a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And so let me go back to,
Tracy, while you're doing that, you have a question from Catherine that said, Tracy mentioned all the Proctorio settings could slow things down. What does this mean? When you go to those behavior settings, it will tell you you're choosing this and it could really slow down your student's computer. It's been a while since I've been in there, but that was an option before. It probably still is. And it will say that's probably not ideal because it's going to slow the computer down. But yeah, if students are on bad internet, it could make it worse.
yeah. So,
Tracy,
yes.
can we have students upload files? Like if we want them to show their work on a problem, that can be done?
Boy, I'm not 100%, and I should know that, and I will find out that answer and email all of you. I would think that you should be able to do that. So again, when I was talking about the option of instructors to use a third-party platform for their tests, I would think you would be able to do that, but I'll find out.
Well, Canvas lets you upload files, so that's what I was thinking of doing.
Okay, so when you're in, for example, when you're in your quiz, and let's just go to this one. And you're talking about a quiz, right, Mike? You're not
Correct.
talking about an assignment. Okay. So now let's just look at this. So under quiz restrictions, you know, it doesn't give me an option. So if, I don't know, I just have to think about that. And also I will talk to our rep for Proctorio and verify that and get back to everyone in the course. Okay. Just, you know, maybe if you made it a quiz question where they, you know, could upload a file.
Yeah.
You know, where you, yeah, a file upload question.
Well, it'd be like take a picture with their phone, turn it into a PDF and upload it.
Okay, well, let
Or-
me ask, I would think, you know, yeah, just let me answer that, get that question answered for you correctly. Anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, I wanted to go back. You were talking about how webcam access, you have to state it in your syllabus and list it on the course schedule. Does that
Yes.
mean like the BandWeb course schedule, or what does that mean?
So you're going to, you know, number one here, listed it in your course syllabus. And so it'll also be listed here under your course summary. Okay. So I would definitely list it here, Pat. Make sure it's listed here. And then do you also do a link or a file to your syllabus?
Yeah, I typically do a PDF upload, but I've also copied it into this spot before. But I thought it specifically said schedule, not summary, is the need to
Okay, let me
state
go.
access.
Okay, let's go back. You cannot require a webcam unless you state this explicitly in your syllabus and on the course schedule. I'm pretty sure that, you know, you know, as you list your assignments and quizzes, it populates within your course summary. I think if you just have it here, you're fine.
Yeah, and I
Your
think what it means if you
syllabus.
have a hard copy too, like in
Yeah,
the syllabus, obviously under exams and quizzes, but also in if you attach a calendar to your syllabus, maybe
there.
on the date of a quiz or test, just remind them that they're going to require video. I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Kevin. Also, I wanted to share with you this third-party instructor's guide, and I'll send that to you as well about quizzes. And, you know, they suggest really that you add 5 additional minutes if you're having your students go to a third party. And remember that this is just, in essence, like one tab, one additional tab. And so let me send that to you. I will send a guide on the grade book, and whatever else. And I'll get Mike Daniels' question answered too. Holy Toledo. All right. Yay. Woohoo. Okay. Anyone else? Anybody else?
I have a question. Do you
Okay.
have a statement in your syllabus that you could share with us about Proctorio and what's required of the student as far as webcam, etc.?
No, but I will get that for you. I'll get that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. You would think I would. I'll get it from my department. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me just give myself a note.
Could you also show the difference in where it's located in the quizzes section, the difference between how long the exam is available for versus once they click and start, what that duration is? So like if my exam is 3 hours, 10 minutes, but I want the student to have access to the exam for, let's say, the entire day because it's a flexible online, where that distinction is at.
Okay, so let me just go to assignments because it's, you know, kind of blank. So I'm, you know, okay, and I'm going to go to more options. Okay, my assignment group is assignments. My submission type is just going to be online. I'm going to select those two. I'll do these two. Okay. I'm going to say one. No, I'm going to say two. Okay. All right. So, all right. It's due on, oh, you know what I'm realizing? I really do have to make this a quiz because you want, okay, I'm just going to call this. Okay. So the time limit is going to be, let's say it's 30 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to allow multiple attempts. Here are my options to show correct answers at. I'm going to hide correct answers at. I'm not doing that. Okay. So it's due on the 17th. It's available. Actually, I should have probably made that. And I'm going to save and publish. Okay. So now the time limit of the quiz is 30 minutes. And it's available from August 13th at 12 a.m. and it's due on August 17th. So in that time when they start it, they have two options to take it. So if you don't want them to have a couple of times to take it, let me, oh, I didn't. I thought I did. Okay. So then don't select that. Does that make sense to you? So you have to assign a, when it becomes open, when the event becomes open, when it closes, but you have to set a time limit. Okay.
And do you know, so from what I'm understanding, there's online scheduled and online flexible. And so, you know, I'm getting a little bit of mixed feedback about whether for an online scheduled is when you can require that an exam will only be available, you know, from this time to this time, because the student knew when they enrolled in the class that it was scheduled, that there was required scheduled time. But then if it's an online flexible, you have to be able to broaden that window, because then that takes away the flexibility aspect of the course.
I would talk to your department chair.
Okay, that's what I was gonna do.
I would definitely talk, because it's, you know, because so much is online, everything almost is online. So yeah, I would definitely talk to your department chair sooner rather than later. Yeah. So anyone else?
I was curious about the report you get at the end. You mentioned it'll tell you things like poor internet connectivity. Does it actually mention if there's like a true disconnection, like if it just goes cold? Because I've had students claim that in the past, and I'd be curious if it can actually pick up whether the internet was fully disconnected or not.
I believe so. It would make sense that it has, but I haven't seen that. But I can ask when I'm asking about Mike Daniels' question. I will ask that question too, Pat.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question as well. Can you force complete the exam or quiz?
I'm sorry.
Force complete it. So they're running out of time, so that they actually have to finish, or that whatever they've done is recorded, and then if they didn't finish the quiz, whatever they've done, they get credit for, because the system forces completion.
So like if the student doesn't complete the exam in time, it will still record what answers they were able to do, right? And
But
then the remaining.
I don't believe that they have a force option. The closest thing that I can say is that I think there's a no re-entry, obviously, if you've opted that. Alpha, I can ask that question though too.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking, I was teaching summer classes across town, and a lot of my students, I gave the exam the more conventional way, and they had to upload their exam. And a lot of them ended up having to send it to me by email because they suddenly couldn't upload their files anymore. So I ended up having half of the exams on Blackboard and the other half via email. And even that was sometimes tricky, so they couldn't really get the data on there. And then here I see the same problem if they're running out of time and don't submit it. So what does the system record as the answer? Is there anything at all? Or is it just in intervals, or whatever they done by the deadline or is recorded, and whatever they didn't do, they don't get credit, or it's not recorded?
Okay. Do you, what do you teach? Do you teach math?
I think, no, chemistry.
Chemistry. Okay. So do you have a lot of images that are large file size?
Yes, because they had to draw structures, and that's why it was not very feasible to do an online thing, because Canvas doesn't have the tools for that. So if a teacher organic chemistry and want them to outline a mechanism that does not work with Canvas, because they saw because my national athletes able to do that, so they have to do the paper and upload it, and if you do any math, you want to show see the work. And it's the same program that you say, okay, well, how did we arrive to this result? And they might have to upload things as well.
Okay. Yeah, we are really suggesting to people who are using a lot of images in their test questions, if there is a way that they can compress images So the size is lower because there's definite loading issues. Statement. Okay. Anything else, guys? Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to be with me. This will be recorded, or this is recorded, and we will have the recording out probably next week. I will send you the various guides and get questions, the various questions that you've asked that I didn't know the answer to answered. And thank you so much. I have to go because I have a test bank publisher meeting. So thanks again.
Wait, before we leave, my
Oh,
host,
yeah.
could you put the there it is, feedback form. Please fill out the feedback form.
Okay. Thanks, Pam.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Pam.
Yes.
Hey, I submitted some stuff to you for previous classes, just so you know.
For what class? Oh, you sent me a Zoom link, right?
Yeah, yeah, I did that, and I did the captioning.
Okay. And Kevin, before I finish today, I will send you the assignment that you need to do by email, and you can just email it to me.
Okay.
And then I gotta try to
Sorry.
Well, it's so weird because other people are submitting it. I don't know why it won't let you. But I'll email it to you.
It's still locked for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Tracy, real quick.
Yes, of course.
When we're creating a quiz, how do we get Proctorial to show up on the thing again?
You bet. Let me just go in here. Can you see, I'm going to settings.
I can.
Okay. And you go to navigation.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I remember now.
And it's right here. It's in your hidden section. And it's, just remember that it's called the Secure Exam Proctor.
Okay.
Okay.
And do we click on that, or do we click on create a quiz?
No, all you do is drag Secure Exam Proctor from your hidden section up here to the unhidden section, save, and then go back to quizzes.
Okay.
And
it'll pop up.
And in your quiz detail page, you have to enable this right here.
Oh, enable it. Okay.
Oh yeah, you have to do that. And then you have to save it. And then the tab, it takes a while to load for it to show up on your, you know, up here in your details tab area right here. It takes a while. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Tracy, would you like me to stop the recording?
Yes, please. Thank you.